Mexico has some tough immigration laws. By the way, they call my 10 cities inhumane, very hot, and I've also set up a section for those illegal aliens that have been convicted in the tent city. But they ought to look at themselves. They ought to look at their prison situation. They should look at their illegal immigration laws, how they deal with illegal immigration. They should understand, and I know they do, when you go into their country, you have to have a passport. They can ask you for your ID. So I'm a little surprised why the Mexican president has criticized Arizona for our new laws. Why doesn't he worry about his own country first? Why does the United States government, including the Secretary of State, blame us, blame the United States for the drug traffic? Because saying if we didn't have the users here, Mexico would not be furnishing drugs to the users. When in the last several months, when the president of Mexico met with our U.S. president and the Prime Minister of Canada, a few weeks later, the president of Mexico legalized the use of drugs. So when the president of Mexico keeps saying if the users did not exist in the United States, we would not be supplying them with drugs, and that would reduce the violence on the Mexican side of the border because of the drug traffic. And of course, once again, they minimize the human smuggling part of this. So I'm a little concerned why the president has said that, and I'm a little concerned why he is criticizing Arizona for our immigration laws when they got tougher laws in Mexico than here. Also, we blame ourselves, we blame us for the violence in Mexico, stating the majority of guns smuggled into Mexico come from the United States and is used to kill 30,000 people. The guns do not all come from the United States. Mexico buys guns from everywhere. But why are we blaming ourselves indirectly or directly for the violence in Mexico by furnishing the dope peddlers the automatic weapons? On the drugs, I can say the same thing. Why say that it's our fault? Because we have thousands of drug users in the United States being furnished by drug traffickers in Mexico. So you can understand that there's two sides to every story. First of all, another part of my career was the only federal agent in Turkey and the Middle East. So I've been fighting this international drug wars years ago in Turkey and the Middle East. So I think I know a little about the Middle East, their psychology, and I can go on and on. I don't know about, I don't have any statistics how many people from the Middle East are crossing our border, but you have to still understand that's a dangerous threat when you have a 2,000-mile border, not fully in control, and these guys can get across. Now, the majority of people that we arrest, 99%, are from Mexico or Central America. We did arrest 6 Chinese that went from China, we think through Cuba because of the money they had on their person, to Mexico City. And then they came across the Mexican-U.S. border, and we grabbed them here, heading to New York. This is Chinese. So you do have people from other countries, faraway countries, that do cross that border. So if you can have these people from China, I'm sure there's no big deal to have people from the Middle East. We did raid 2 McDonald's a couple of months ago, and then Sizzler Steakhouse, Actually, I can't get a hamburger anymore. I can't get a steak. I can't go to a Mexican restaurant. I can't go to an Italian restaurant. So I have to eat my wife's cooking. But the thing is that we've raided 37 different businesses, whether it's construction or retail businesses, clothing business. So we go into all these places. And most of the time, the people there we catch with false identification. They are here illegally. And I'm the bad guy. Everybody criticizes me for locking up the poor workers, but they forget to say they had false identification. So that's just another hype going against this sheriff, trying to find every reason in the book as to criticize me and my deputies by arresting illegal immigrants, including mayors and all that, always complaining I go after dishwashers and that type of thing. So they never tell the truth, but it's all the fact that they do not like us arresting illegal aliens in the interior of the United States, and especially here in Maricopa County. Every day, well, it's a little late, but every day they're in front of this building for a year and a half, between 11 to 1. They're gone at 1 minute after 1. I guess they don't want to have Acorn pay them overtime, but they're always there with the Hitler signs with me and everything else. So this has been going on a year and a half. I've had 10,000 demonstrators led by the singer there from Tucson, Ronstadt, call me every name in the book. I had Sharpton here last year, which was great because my polls went up higher and higher, and I raised $50,000 a day he got here, so I sure like him to come back, which he may this week. So they keep coming after the sheriff, and I keep laughing at them and doing my thing. Well, some companies use it. It's a good, it's about 95% accurate. And they should use it because once they use it, they seem to get off the hook on our employer sanction investigations. But there's a big breakdown on false identification, Social Security. They steal numbers. Most of them don't make the false ID. They just take your number. And it's very difficult. We're like #1 in the nation for phony ID, identification theft. And I'm sure once you get your number used, it'll take you years to try to rectify that through the bureaucracy. So it is a serious offense. And yet, once again, when we make these arrests, if they happen to be illegally here, I'm the bad guy. I presume if we locked up 20 people with red hair that were U.S. citizens, I would be the good guy. But if they're illegal, I'm the bad guy.